Greetings, you made it. You made it to the end of the year, December 31st, 2020. And tomorrow, January 1st, 2021. You deserve a round of applause because despite the hardships and pain, you made it through. You persevered. Now, I wanted to do this podcast because normally I do self-reflections in the year, but I want to share this one with you. Because the podcasts that I do are normally private. I don't share it with anyone. But I figured that stepping into a new year, I want to be more open and I want to share my thoughts and my journey of 2020 with you, if that's okay. 2020 has been a very, very, very interesting year. I started off throwing a party for my birthday, which is coming up, January 6th. Um, I threw a party with a couple of friends, and I was getting ready to say goodbye because I was planning to go to the West Coast sometime in the summer or even in the fall. And then obviously COVID happened, but we'll get to that. At that time, I managed to find a job after finishing school, getting my degree in January. And I was on the road to graduation. Cap and gown was going to come in April, and everything just seemed to be flowing down the line. I managed to get a job doing work study at Montclair State University. I found a new job during the week working at the Montclair Kimberly Academy, being a after-school counselor. I was still working with the Montclair Film Festival, teaching on Wednesday mornings and Saturday evenings, and I was doing the church gig. So I had 4 things that were lining up, and money was starting to pile up. This possibly have been the most financial I've been supported, in my life, But, moving along with the story, when COVID happened, everything just stopped. You couldn't do filming and photography because we didn't know how close, this virus was going to be, and, the effects and all that stuff. And so during that time, I used that opportunity to do some writing because I was always wanted to do some writing, some stories and things that I wanted to create. And so I ended up creating a series called Sage the Magnificent Mage. I wrote about 5 episodes. I wrote a epic, which is about typically 3-hour movies, but this one ended up being 4 hours in length, so about maybe 300 and I think it was 200 and something pages, but I definitely know that it was definitely over 250 pages worth. Maybe it's a little bit under 300. I have to check that again, but definitely that took up a lot of time, a week. I wrote 2 features, so I used that time to kind of get in tune with myself and figure out, what I really wanted to do moving forward. Thinking about, okay, I want to go to the West Coast, but let me actually plan this. Let me actually think about, how I'm going to do this. So I figured that writing scripts is probably going to be the best way to just sharpen myself. So when I go to the West Coast, I'm able to pitch these ideas that I have, and hopefully they would receive them. And so during that time, I was looking at a script that I wrote in the previous year, 2019, for my final for film 2. And I came across a script called Blackheart that I wrote like in one day. It's like an 8-page script. I'm like, I kind of want to see if I can make this, this year. And I found this website called Breakdown, amazing website, where you can do casting calls and hold auditions and stuff like that. So I managed to get some actors, and we filmed that the first week in August. So okay, I like this whole process. The actors are dope. The project came out nice. I kind of want to see where this goes, And I ended up doing another film, Royalty. That whole process of getting the actors and even filming it in October was interesting, because it's the summertime. Things are starting to open back up. Auditions are happening. I'm feeling good. This, that, and the third. The job that I was working at, is thinking about reopening. So I'm like, okay, everything is kind of moving along. And I think filming that film was definitely probably one of the highlights of the year. It's a 50-page script, and I filmed it less than 72 hours. Crazy, crazy, crazy. But I had to spend $2,000 just to get an Airbnb. So just the pre-production alone of making that project happen brought me joy. I got a chance to work for some very talented actors. Um, Unfortunately, things happen, and not every interaction that you have with someone is the best. And you just have to make do with what you got or how things happen, in the end. Sometimes you work with people, things are great once, and then the next thing you know, it's not as good as you thought that it was going to be. Unfortunately, my computer was giving issues around that time too, and I had to get that fixed. And so there was a lot of things that were happening in the fall. And the week of Thanksgiving, I filmed my last project of the year, the Guerrero Brothers, like a 15-page script. And that was interesting too. We filmed that the Saturday after Thanksgiving and on Sunday. And it was definitely fun shooting in the South Mountain Reservation, which I used for a previous film, Into the Woods. And so it's, kind of bringing up, I won't say old wounds, but old experiences, because even the actor that acted in that short in 2018, this was his first gig. And then now this project will be, the last gig that I do in Jersey, moving forward as I'm trying to prepare myself for the West Coast. But, why am I telling you this? I'm telling you this because, despite the limitations that 2020 has put on us, with determination, with drive and ambition, you can do something probably not as crazy as film projects and, produce them on your own and do all that stuff, but you can do something as little as, learn a new skill or learn a new language or, write something, start a business. As many people have started business because of the job that they were working at got shut down. So the point I'm trying to make is that, again, despite the hardship and pain, you've made it to the end and you prevailed and you've done creative things and you've done fun things and you've probably, when the quarantine was lifted or, the curfew, you hanged out with your friends and you did some things, being safe and all that stuff. And so, for next year, I charge you to take the same mindset, to take the same drive and will that you had to prevail in 2020 and use that for 2021. Because I'll tell you something. I learned that the only thing that holds you back is you. If you allow situations and things to get the best of you and you become depressed, you become not motivated, it weighs you down. It gets you in a state of maybe this is not what I want to do. And, definitely when I was making these films, I felt that way. I felt like, is this something that I really want to do? Is this something that I want to continue to do because of actors canceling or you don't get, the auditions, you can't cast a role. And so there's so many things that happen in your life that you have no control over. But you have to keep on keeping on. Because if you allow this to get you down, there's a chance that you might not get back up. when I was 6 years old, I wasn't diagnosed with depression, but I knew that I had depression, and that was about 21 years ago. Next year will be 22 years because it'll be 2021 and 1999. But, you know, um, depression is something that we don't normally want to talk about, but it's there. It's a taboo word. It's something that we kind of want to push underneath the rug. You know, we try to hide how we really feel. And I know depression was strong during 2020. You can't go outside. You can't see your friends. You're not working. Unemployment is giving us a hard time. But also we lost friends and loved ones during this time. 2020 started out with a friend of mine dying. You know, she went by the name Nikki Green, or on IG, Genesis Nicole, but her name was Shawanda Green, and she wasn't too older than me. You know, I'm 27. She was probably like 33, 34, maybe 35. I'm just spitballing, you know. But she lost her life, and I don't even know how. It was definitely before COVID because she died in January, and it made me sad because obviously I lost a friend, but it also because I wasn't connecting, you know, with her. I haven't spoken to her in a couple of years, and so 2020 showed me that you're here today and you're gone tomorrow. I mean, that's always have been the case for life, but it just gave me a swift reminder that anybody can go. You know, like you don't have to be old. You don't have to be, you know, sick. You can be healthy and young and lose your life just like that. So I encourage you for next year to not take life for granted. I'm pretty sure you don't, but just use that as a reminder that you only live once. Our time on this earth is very uncertain. And what you use, what you do with that time is important. I know that some of us are still young and we can, you know, figure out what we want to do with our lives. But don't wait too long. Because I'm sure it would bring you profound sadness. That you're like, okay, tomorrow I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And then you end up dying. You know, I'm not saying it, you know, in a bleak way, but I'm just saying like it can happen. And sometimes it does happen. And, you know, not to be morbid, but I think about it like, you know, with last year, Nipsey Hussle died. Tekashi died. And I'm just thinking like, you know, these people had plans. You know, their life just certainly getting gunned down and you're gone just like that. You know, you want to talk about it, Breonna Taylor. You know, there was a tweet going around that she posted back in 2019. I hope to have a child so I can experience Christmas with them, or they can be excited like I do. And then she dies weeks before her birthday. These people had dreams and aspirations, goals, things that they plans, and they're not here anymore. See, these people are young. You know, the great Chadwick Boseman dying. You know, he was a hero to a lot of people. he was a role model that we could see. Because I've said that, who are our modern day heroes? Who are our role models? When we think of Black history, we think of Malcolm X and Martin Luther King and Thurgood Marshall, or even Marcus Garvey, but we don't have real life role models that we can see and interact with. My thoughts on the Black Panther movie, I'll keep that aside, but he was a legend for little black boys, for them to inspire to be. He inspired me. The first movie that I saw him in was 42, when he was playing Jackie Robinson. He inspired me to, want him to be a filmmaker. and it's very funny because when I was on the set of Blackheart, one of the actresses asked me, "Who would you like to meet?" And I said, Chadwick Boseman. And this was in August. And then at the end of the month, he passes away. Well, I'm just thinking about that, and I'm just like, that is uncanny. He was a hero. Wakanda forever. And so, in closing, I don't want to be here too long on a tangent, but I definitely did want to share my thoughts with you. And hopefully, if you want to comment down below, you can. If you stay to the end of this video, I appreciate you. I'll be doing a couple of new things in the new year. I won't tell you what. I just want you to see it. Because I feel as if I reveal it to you, you might get excited, you might not get excited. But the fact remains is that you'll be seeing more of me, whether you like it or not. And so in 2021, I charge you, it's okay if you don't reach the goal that you have for this year. But the fact is that you try. That's all that matters in life. It's not about whether you pursue the dream that you want or you make it. It's about that you tried to. Because then you won't have any regret. You can say that I did the best that I can do. Because sometimes certain things just aren't for you, and not to be morbid, but just to speak facts. Certain things just are not for you. And sometimes it takes a while to really figure out what is for you. We think the friends that we have are eternal, but they may not be for you. Certain relationships were forced because you were so determined to, get with this person or to do this or do that, and it wasn't for you, it wasn't healthy. You wonder why you feel drained, you feel tired, you feel uninspired. Because that job that you're in may not be for you. That relationship that is sucking your soul, your life force, your essence, your peace, probably not for you. But life is a journey. You have to take time to figure out what is for you. And so I encourage you, doesn't have to be January 1st. It could be December 31st, 2021, that you figure out what's for you. But the charge is that you find out. Make the effort to find out who's for you, what's for you, what works, and what doesn't work. Find yourself if you didn't already find it. Because I tell you, it's a beautiful thing when you realize who you are and what you are, what you can do, and what you can't do. Because even though I said in the beginning of this video that sometimes the only thing that holds you back is yourself, I meant it. But sometimes limitations are put on us. Don't let those limitations hold you. Be shackles. Don't let the circumstance that you are in, you get comfortable in it. You soak in it. You make it your spot, your crib. You pimp it out. You get some pillows, you get a nice sheet, you get some popcorn, and you sit down in this pit. Don't do it. Rise. I wish you the best. Wish you all. Even to the people that may not be cool with me anymore. We had a falling out this year or the previous years, or even in future tense, if we're cool and then something happens in 2021 and we're not cool anymore, I wish you the best. I have no ill will against you. I wish no death. I wish no sickness. I don't wish none of that, and hopefully you don't wish that on me. But I definitely do hope that everyone who sees this video reaches the goal that they have, whether it's to lose weight, whether it's to find yourself, whether it's to get married, to be in a relationship, to move, to get a new job, to start, just to start a business, to get a camera, whatever it is. I hope that you reach that goal and you continue to strive. Even if you don't get it, don't give up. Keep going. Keep pushing. Because eventually, you'll achieve it. Don't let whatever the circumstances is stop you from reaching your goal. Because again, the only thing that can stop you, that can hold you back, is yourself. And I get it. Sometimes when you're doing new things, uncertainty creeps in. You start to listen to what people say, their thoughts and their opinions. And sometimes it can override your drive to do what you have to do. Don't let them stop you. Don't. I want to thank you for watching this video to the end. If this message helped you, I'm glad. Share it with somebody. Maybe you look at this video as inspiration for the rest of 2021, or even pulling through the rest of this day as we close into the new year, I really wish the best for all of you. Take care.